Have you ever encountered a man who appears vulnerable and insecure, but at the same time manipulates those around him for his own benefit? Welcome to the paradoxical world of inverted male narcissists. These individuals, often in the guise of vulnerability, weave a complex web of manipulation. Imagine, for instance, a man named John. John often portrays himself as a victim of circumstances, a man wronged by the world. His tales of misfortune pull at your heartstrings, compelling you to offer support and sympathy. But as time goes on, you notice a pattern. John's victimhood often serves as a tool for control, a means to shift the balance of power in his favor. This is the reality of an inverted male narcissist, a reality that is often masked by their ability to play the victim. Unveiling this enigma requires a deep understanding of their contradictory gestures and behaviors. What signs should you look out for when dealing with an inverted male narcissist? Inverted male narcissists often display a unique mix of vulnerability and manipulation. They may present themselves as wounded or misunderstood, eliciting sympathy and care. However, this vulnerability can often be a smokescreen, used to control and manipulate those around them. Take, for example, a man who constantly shares tales of his troubled past. He appears to be open and authentic, but over time, a pattern emerges. He uses these stories not to connect, but to deflect criticism and avoid responsibility. His vulnerability becomes a tool for manipulation, a means to keep his partner off balance and unsure. This behavior can be confusing and hard to recognize because it contradicts our expectations. We often associate vulnerability with sincerity and trust, but in this case, it's being weaponized. Recognizing these unusual gestures is the first step towards protecting oneself. How does the behavior of an inverted male narcissist affect the women in his life? Well, let's dive into the murky waters of emotional manipulation and gaslighting. Picture this. Sarah, a vibrant woman full of life, finds herself trapped in a web of deceit. Her partner, an inverted narcissist, masterfully manipulates situations, making her question her own sanity. In the twisted reality he fabricates, he's always the victim, and she's the villain. He convinces her that her logical reactions are irrational, her emotions are overblown. This is gaslighting, a potent tool in the arsenal of an inverted narcissist. It's like slowly boiling a frog. The heat is turned up so gradually, the frog doesn't realize it's in danger until it's too late. The toll on Sarah's emotional health is immense. She feels isolated, confused, and drained. But remember, dear listener, understanding these tactics brings power. The impact of these manipulative tactics can be devastating, but knowledge is power. How can women protect themselves from the damaging effects of an inverted male narcissist? Now that's the question of the hour, isn't it? Let's dive right in. One of the most potent arsenals against the deceptive charm of an inverted narcissist is setting boundaries. It's about asserting your needs and saying no when necessary. It's not about being confrontational, but about safeguarding your emotional health. Consider the case of Jane Doe. Jane was in a relationship with an inverted narcissist. She began to understand his manipulative patterns and decided to set her boundaries. She sought support from friends and a professional counselor, which helped her maintain her resolve. But just setting boundaries isn't enough. It's equally important to practice self-care. Jane made sure she took time out for herself, engaged in activities she loved, and focused on her mental health. This helped her heal and regain her self-esteem. Empowerment comes from understanding the nature of the beast and developing strategies to protect oneself. So take a leaf out of Jane's book and stand your ground. Where can women turn for support when dealing with an inverted male narcissist? The answer lies in two powerful words: resilience and community. Building resilience is about strengthening your emotional fortitude, learning to set boundaries, and developing coping strategies. It's about understanding that it's okay to say no, and that your emotional health is a priority. Now, let's talk about community. Picture this. Sarah, a woman who was once entangled in the web of an inverted narcissist, found solace in a support group for victims of narcissistic abuse. This group became her sanctuary, a safe space where she could share her experiences, learn from others, and gradually heal from her emotional wounds. This community served as a beacon of hope for Sarah, proving that she was not alone in her struggle. It offered her the strength to reclaim her life and assert her worth. In the face of adversity, remember that you are not alone. Reach out, build resilience, and find your community.